there was so much heart in all these plants. But, I thought this plant, the workers here, there was 85 of us, I think. And, it was manned 24 hours a day, every day of the year, including Christmas, New Year's, and holidays. It's hard for me to hear my echo in this room. It bothers me that, all those years working here, they never dreamed that we'd be doing this. We had a storm here. It was a hurricane. And when it's a hurricane, we close all those big steel doors. They're called floodgates. But anyway, the floodgates were closed, and the storm came up and blocked the road, the access road. Well, the shifts changed every 8 hours. So there was one worker, we gave him a special word for this. He parked his car upland in the village there and walked through water up to his knees to get in to relieve his co-worker. It's that kind of dedication these people had. And although they made very good money, it was more of a calling. They knew they had a responsibility to make electricity. And this plant was one of the key plants in the state. Well, especially when it's very hot, keeping the safety equipment on is tough, Especially we had these Tyvek suits that, white paper suits that go over. And man, they don't breathe. And if you're working inside the boiler, you put that on because you didn't want to get a lot of ash on you. Me and 4 other guys that were close, we used to unshovel the coal into piles right out here. And we would be completely covered in coal at the end of the day. But it was a fun job and we made decent money. Yeah. And that's basically what I did here. But it was quite an experience because there would be thousands of workers putting this facility together, which was unbelievable. And
I worked there and it was good. Like the second year when I get back, things were growing up. They had a huge smokestack that was up there. I don't know if it's still there or not, but they were working on the final bits of it way up on top. So they had 3 or 4 planks around the top and a little cable around the planks, the whole people. And the guys were up there putting brick up. They said, "Where do you want to work, Ron?" I said, "Anywhere but there." And they kidded around. Well, the carpenters are looking for you. You want to go back? Yeah. So I went back with the carpenters, but with the same guys where they were looking for me to come back. But I looked at them and I said, that'd be the worst, but it wasn't. Because later on when they got done, then the guys were sitting in like swing chairs, coming down the side, pointing the brick. They got the piece of metal and then they're pointing the brick and they're coming down the side of this thing. I'm looking at you, gotta be out of your mind.
Back in the day, it was just like an eyesore, as Jerry mentioned, but also relied on it for navigation, in boating, but you just accepted it. And then over time, as I became more environmentally aware, I thought about the smokestack and what was pumping out of there, but it was just a thing that you had to live with. When they decommissioned it, I didn't think so much about the smokestack, but still appreciated the navigation aids that it provided, but started to think a lot about the oil tanks and what would happen if a tank breached right here with all the oyster beds and the recreation.
One of the gentlemen that worked here at night used to come into the store and he used to tell me that they're decommissioning it and so forth and so on. And I belong to an exchange club in Norwalk, which is a community group that works for the betterment of Norwalk. And he took us on a tour here after it was decommissioned to, just to see the whole plant and everything else. And it was pretty interesting because I had never really seen the finished structure inside. And it's quite if you're just walking up here, it's a big unit. Yeah, and the property is, seeing it, what their plan is awesome. It really is.